Welcome back. In this video we'll look at actually getting an answer into our game. In order to do that we need to do a little bit on the designer first. We need to put in a spot to put the answer. So what I'm going to do is create a horizontal arrangement here. So where's my arrangement? Layout. Horizontal arrangement. I'm just going to put that in there. I'm going to put the box in here, the next button in there. I'm going to create another button called the answer one, and we'll put that in there as well. And so we'll just change this to answer. And then we're going to put in a text input as well, so that they can actually put in the text. And so there's the text box that we can put in. That just puts into there. And with this one, you can actually put a hint in. And so that will help us out. So we're going to ask them to enter last name only. Okay, so that will just sit in the text box there, and that will let us, the person know for sure how they should answer. So they're not going to put in Justin Trudeau, they should just put in Trudeau, for example. Now in here, let's just rename them. So let's just call this answer text box. Just get rid of the one. Okay, the button one, well, that's going to be the answer button. So I'll just rename that one as well. And we've already got the next button there. Now one last thing that we'll do here is create another little button. We'll just put it down here. And this one, or actually we'll make it a label, sorry. We'll make it a label that will let us know if we got it correct or if we got it wrong. So we'll just put the label here, just below. And so we'll just call that correct label. And at the moment, we'll set that to no text, okay, and we'll basically control that from the box, okay, or from the blocks there. So if we've got our correct label, we can't really see anything at the moment, but that's okay. We will just put text in there when we need to. All right, let's go check out the blocks here. So first thing we need to do is set up another list that corresponds to the original list that we have, and this will be our answer list. So I'm simply going to copy this one, and I'll just bring it over here. Maybe I'll just bring this one just below it so that we are above it, and this will be our answer list. So I'll just change the name here, and you got to make sure that you put in the correct answers. So the first one, who is the current Prime Minister? Whoops. We'll just turn that to Trudeau. Try to spell it correctly. The longest serving, his last name I guess is King. It's Mackenzie King. Lion Mackenzie King. We'll call him King. And then the shortest one was Tupper. Alright, and it's just the last names like we suggested there. So we've created an answer list here. Now what we need to do is, if you remember back from the designer here, they're going to type it in, then they're going to hit answer, and when they hit answer, that's when we're going to check to see if it's correct. So basically we have to come over here and find the answer button, and on the answer button, when they click on the answer button, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to be conditional on if they got the question right or wrong. So I have to take a control block, and basically it's going to be an if. Now the idea is that if their answer is equal to this answer, okay, so if the answer they entered is equal to this answer, then we're going to tell them they're right. Otherwise, we'll tell them that they're wrong. So we need to make a comparison here. So under the math, this is our comparison operator. Okay, so we're just going to use the single or the equals here. Now it's the same as the double equals. Okay. This app inventor uses a single equal sign here. Okay, so what we want to do is check that the picture, or sorry, the answer is matched with what we set in there. So the answer text box, right? We're going to get the answer text box dot text. So we will get that somewhere. There we are. So answer text box dot text. There it is. So if the answer text box is equal to, and basically we need to make sure that we get this list and the right index value. So just like we did before. So actually I'm just going to copy this one, paste that. So if it's equal to, not the global question list, but now the global answer list, and that index, so again we're just working through the indexes there, then we should give them some text. So if that's correct, we need an else as well here. Add it, throw that in. Okay, so if they're correct, then we will just give them some text. We'll tell them they're right. Sorry, before I do that, we got to put it in the correct label. So we're going to set that label, set correct label text to, we'll just put something here, you are correct. All right, and then this one here, we'll just copy it, and then we'll say, sorry, you're wrong. Sorry, you are incorrect. We won't say you're wrong. All right, so that way the players should get feedback as to whether they were right or wrong. Now, of course, you know, if they were on the right track and they spelt it wrong, it's not that forgiving. Okay, we only have one suggestion here for it, but you know, that's how it is at the moment. However, we can help the player out a little bit, and that's by sort of making capitalization inconsequential. Okay, now if you tried this game now and you spelt Trudeau without capitalizing the T, or you spelt it all in caps, unfortunately, it wouldn't give you a right answer. It would say that it's wrong, and that's a little bit frustrating. So there is something we can do pretty easily that will solve that issue, and it's basically changing this here, the answer that we get, changing that to all caps, and also changing our you know, this thing that's on our list to all caps as well. And then that way everything is equal here. So under the text box, there is something that just says caps. Oh, uppercase, sorry, there we are, uppercase. You could change it all to lowercase as well. Just bring this in, and you can see there's either uppercase or downcase. Either way. I'm going to take this little box, throw it in there, and put that there. Okay, now this is making this a bit long. Just move this over. And then same thing here. This value that we get from the list, we'll set that to uppercase as well. So I'm just going to grab that and bring that over here, and then just replace that. So what we're doing is taking whatever we get as an answer, making that uppercase, and whatever we're checking on our list, we're setting that to uppercase as well. So regardless of how you typed it in, it will change it to uppercase, and then this will be uppercase as well on the answer list, and then that way you don't have to worry that you know, they're getting it wrong simply because they capitalized or didn't capitalize. So you should be able to try this out now, and everything should work. One thing you'll notice is that it doesn't automatically move to the next answer. You have to click next. So that actually does give you the ability to try multiple times, which is kind of a good idea if you're trying to teach somebody things, right, rather than testing them. If this is something to, you know, train them in, you know, social studies or whatever the case might be, it's often beneficial to give them multiple chances. Doesn't give any suggestions or anything, but for our purposes at the moment, you know, it might let you type it in a couple times and see if you can get it correct. All right, we'll end this video here. There's still a few more things that we want to do, but we're pretty well done our app